Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is not CRL. This is SRL. This is my very own league. Welcome to the very, very first stream of SRL. I am joined by my former Ferrari teammate and very, very good F1 pal. That is Mr. AFL 1994.
Hello. Thank you for having me on the pre-season race for SRL. Obviously, Rob's putting a lot of hard work into this, and I am so happy for him to finally be here and get this league started.
It's been months in the planning. It's been numerous delays. However, we are now live. Now, this is a crossplay league, so we are expecting a couple of issues at some point. I'm not going to lie. There's probably going to be some bumps and turns from everyone. But we're going to see how it goes, and we're going to just crack on with things. We have got 17 brave, lucky people going out on the track. It is crossplay. We are expecting lagging. We are expecting bumps. We are expecting drama of all kinds, and I can't wait to see what these boys bring to the table. I know some of these people, AFL knows some of these people are complete strangers, and some of these people are complete novices. And what better place to kick off the SRL than my home Grand Prix, AFL's home Grand Prix, and a lot of our own drivers' Grand Prix at Silverstone. And it looks to be a very, very clear day at Silverstone, AFL.
Very good. A bit unlike the weather we're having right now currently in the UK.
I was tempted to say it to rain to match what we're currently getting.
Don't do that.
No, I thought that'd be a bit evil.
I think these guys have suffered enough with having to play crossplay. So hopefully it's an easy one.
Well, hopefully it is. Well, the weather is set to approximate, so we don't know what it is going to be. Obviously, the drivers, if you do have any insights, obviously do let us know in the comments below. It is going to be, well, normally, obviously, we're doing this over at CRL, but this is just a little bit more nerve-wracking, purely because it's my own league this time.
Yeah,
so
it's your child, so you got to look after it. You got to nurture it. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure we'll do absolutely fine, mate.
Well, this is the first page in what's going to be, hopefully, a very long book. But we'll see. 17 drivers, like I said. There was 20 confirmed. 3 of them, unfortunately, couldn't make it today. We have got a few reserves out on pitch, but we'll have to see what happens later on in. We are currently on an outlap with Embracey. He was lucky to be the one that got out of the paddock straight away. So we are on board with him as he will lead us for our very, very first hot lap as he comes down now. You should know the straights better than what I do, Mr. AFL.
That is the hanger straight. He's coming down.
It's coming down towards Stowe, if I remember correctly. I'm learning my tracks, mate. I'm learning them. I'm getting there. Obviously, for those that are new to my Twitch channel, please give it a follow. This is where you'll find the majority of the races when they are live, and they'll be spliced up and edited when we get a... Oh, we've got some overtakes. Hang on a second, though. We do have a little bit of a yellow flag going into Stowe. That looks to be one of the Ferraris, AFL. I don't know if you can tell us what's going on in that corner.
Just having a look. Now, I was on board with the Alpine just as he was starting his lap.
It's the same with me. I'm on board with him at the moment. It seems to be a very good lap.
Do you know what I think it is? I believe it was just guys just trying to find a bit of space to start their lap. Obviously, it just caused a little bit of a concertina effect just before start of the lap. So yeah, looked all good, mate. Looked all good.
That's fair enough. Now we do have some of the CRL boys, as we have mentioned in today's race. We have got the current Tier 4/5 champion, which is Mr. Mark Wilson, racing for Red Bull. We have got CRL Topher, who's joined the frame. We've got the Mighty Atomic, who's currently a reserve driver for CRL. He's in the background. And obviously we've got ourselves representing CRL. Then we've got a couple of people that you know. We've got CJ Kane 8 and Jack 10, who are both teammates, luckily, at Mercedes.
Yeah.
And we've got Baby Driver 69, who's one of my best mates outside of the F1 world, who is currently rocking in the lone McLaren this evening. We'll jump on board and give them some love later on, as we now see Bracey coming around now the last couple of corners. Oh, and if you want to watch and play along, there is a Pokemon community game going off in the chat section of Twitch, where you can catch your very own Pokemon. More information, you can find that in the Twitch channel. However, Embracey sets the very, very first pole time at Silverstone with 1 minute 27, but Dean Pryor turns around and goes, no! He sets a 1 minute 26.9. Kratas with a 129.2. A little bit nervous is our Kratas. He messaged me saying he's feeling a bit nervous, but we've all got to start somewhere. We were all rookies and novices at one point. I'm pretty sure you can remember your very first race. AFL?
Yeah, many moons ago. Literally just got into this racing stuff just by a whim, to be honest, and like here I am many years later. Obviously, co-coms with you on this, and co-coms with you in Cone Tier 3. So it's been a long road, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
It has been a very, very long road. Well, your mate Jack is about to cross the line. He goes provisional P6 for 1 minute 28.3.
Yep.
We have got a yellow flag in sector 2, and I believe that is one of... who is that? We've got a slow driving Alpine there of Severe Scott. I think he's probably coming in. Let's jump on board with Tom. I believe he is... he's burnt through that ERS, so I can only assume he's on an in-lap. I think he must have aborted his first lap. After that, he's forgotten to turn his ERS assist off when he went out around the track. Like I said, a lot of these boys are new to eLeague racing. Tom, while he has raced on F1 22, 21 before, he's never done it competitively, so this is his first attempt out the grid. What's he going to do as he brings it round the last corner? He sets a 1 minute 27.9, which is an amazing time for a rookie driver. Let's now jump on board with Wee Rabby. Wee Rabby is very experienced now when it comes to eLeague racing. He goes around the corner, but he invalidates, and that's not going to be good. He's going to be kicking himself about that. He's still got 12 minutes. He's definitely can set another time. Let's go on board then with RDR Glowstick. I believe he's coming in, so we're not going to go on board with him. Can you see someone that we can go on board with that's potentially setting the time?
I'm just having a look now, mate, to see. I believe it's just bit of a lull. I think maybe Owen, maybe on an in-lap, or just on a charge lap, maybe going again, because his ERS seems to be going up.
Well, I have found someone. It's Topher, who's on an outlap at the moment. The lone Aston Martin driver. This is going to be a very, very good run from Topher. We've raced against Topher before, and we know what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's currently my teammate in CRL, so
well,
hoping for big things for him.
And he's in the same car.
He's in the Aston Martin, exactly, yeah. So this is a bit of R&D for him for when we do come to Silverstone. I think in a couple of weeks' time, I believe. Unfortunately,
I will be sitting on a beach drinking margaritas, mate, when we're in Silverstone next. So
I don't really think that's unfortunate, mate. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I'll be tuning in to making sure I'm getting my CRL fixed. However, this is SRL. Now, this is a brand new eLeague, started from the ground up. It is Crossplay. It is designed for people of all levels to come and have a go if they think they're hard enough. So, why was it made? Well, a lot of people want to get into the eLeague and they're nervous about going up against people that have got assists and all that. 2 seconds, you can hear my little one in the background. I'll be back in a moment. AFL, take centre stage.
So, obviously, as Rob is saying, this is a tier or a league for people of all capabilities, whether you're starting off or you're an experienced veteran. It's just for everybody to get involved and have a bit of fun. Obviously we want to see great racing, competitive racing, but yeah, the guys just here to have fun, enjoy it, and whatever they can do, whether they're aiming for points, aiming for top 10s or whatever, aiming for wins, championships, this is the place to be. So yeah, obviously wishing all the drivers here good luck. Obviously, as Rob said, there's only 17 here today. Some of them are reserves, some of the full-time guys aren't here, but hopefully when they are here, obviously I'm wishing them all the best. And yeah, just looking forward to commentating on you guys this season. Obviously a couple of good friends in here. Jack 10, obviously watching him in the Mercedes in P8, and he's obviously running that purple helmet, maybe Lewis Hamilton inspired, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's definitely looking good, and hopefully he can put on a good show for us tonight, as well as Keen, or Keno as we know him. Hoping for big things for him, especially as both him and Jack are in the Mercedes, which is obviously my team. So yeah, hoping they can put on a good show for us tonight, as well as the other guys. So yeah, looking forward to it. And that's a great lap there from Dan, the 126.7 for Red Bull. Not much, just the Red Bull just putting it quickest, so nothing dissimilar to what we're going through in real life.
No, that's fair enough. I do apologise for quickly abandoning everybody. Unfortunately, my son, he had a poopy, and duty calls for those that are parents that are watching. Right, I'm now on board with RDR Glowstick, who appears to be going on either a hot lap or a in lap. It's definitely going to be a out lap, I believe. Oh no, he's on a hot lap. Couple of yellow flags here and there. I'll tell you what, not really a bad grid, to be fair, considering that this is a mixture of all talents.
Yeah, it's quite close, to be honest. Obviously depends on setups and traffic and stuff like that. And obviously there's still 8 minutes to go. I think some of these guys, they're just refining, really getting used to driving a car around here in anger, because Silverstone, yes, it's a fast track, but it's also a difficult track.
Especially
Obviously,
Sector 2.
Yeah, you've got Sector 2, obviously the famous Maggots and Beckett's and Cops and all of those corners there. So it's good to obviously get your car set up. You need a good front end, but also a good rear end as well, so you can push the car into all of those difficult corners. So
I'm just having a worrying feeling that I may have forgotten to turn formation lap off. We'll approach that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Well,
let's just hope you haven't turned it off.
Glowstick does set a lap, but he did look like he breached track limits there, personally. That would be one for stewards to review if we were doing our stewards meeting this week. Because it is pre-season, we're not going to penalise these boys unless they do something dramatic. So, unless you T-bone someone, deliberately take somebody out of the race on purpose, or just literally become a complete ass. Now, because this is in CRL, I can swear if I wish, but I'm not going to. We'll limit it to mild swearing. But if you do make a complete ass of yourself, then that's when the stewards will get involved. But we are now going to leave Glowstick for a little bit. We are going to go and give some love to someone who I think deserves a little bit of love. We're going to give some love to Baby Driver 69. Like I said earlier, he is new to racing in eLeague competitive format, but I tell you what, he ain't doing too bad. He's currently 10th on the grid. Now, I have a bit of inside knowledge here from Mr. Baby Driver. He believes that he's going to win this in his rookie season. He believes he's going to be the next Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, that's self-confidence there is. Yeah, that is good, to be honest, to be that confident in yourself.
It gives him that motivation.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I've raced with Tom Quinn, and he does improve. He goes P6 as well, so maybe, just maybe, there's going to be method to the madness.
Yeah.
So let's give some love.
You never know.
No, you don't ever know. This is eLeague racing. Anything can happen. All it takes is for one bad lap, one bad pit stop, and that is it. Well, we're just coming to just below 6 minutes left in the session. These boys are all going to be wanting to come in and then potentially get in some. Let's go and check out Severe Scott in the AlphaTauri. The lone. Oh no, he's not the lone. He is here. He is. He's got his teammate out. It is just remembering who is what and what is who. Now, remind me that I do need to take screenshots of obviously where people finish, and obviously, if you are watching and you haven't already, if you do join the Formula Game Companion website, where you can find all the information of obviously points, penalties, wins, stuff like that. If you are a member of the Discord, head over to the announcements and you'll find the pin and all that, or just drop me a message and we can go from there. So Severe Scott is now starting a hot lap at the moment for AlphaTauri. Crossplay wise, it doesn't appear to be too bad.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some feedback from the guys, maybe.
Yeah.
See how they're finding it from our end here. Well, definitely from my side, it looks good. It looks like it's running smooth, no issues. But we're the ones in the comm box and not the driving seat, so I think the drivers will be best placed to let us know how the connection feels from their side. But also, fingers crossed, it's all good.
Well, Severe Scott does abandon his hot lap, and I'm just going to give a big shout out because she always comes and cheers us on in Tier 5 in CRL. It is Mr. Mark Wilson's wife. It is Danielle. She's here. She's talking to us. Danielle, thank you for joining the SRL. Don't worry, please still go watch CRL as well, because I don't want to poach their fans, because we want to work with them, not against them. This is just so everybody of all skill levels can practice here and then go on to bigger and better things. But I'll tell you what, let's go and give some love to the husband. Let's go on board with Mr. Mark Wilson at the moment, who, by the looks of it, has invalidated. And he's rocking the Daniel Ricciardo number 3. Is that going to bring him some luck? One can only hope. I'll tell you what, though, he's doing well. P5 with 126.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Jack in P11 in the Mercedes, just going through cops now.
Ooh,
looks like he was about a 10th up. So hopefully he can find a little bit of improvement there. Just coming through famous Maggots and Beckett's. Beautiful entry there.
Well, Tom's saying on his end, who's obviously in the pit, Crossplay's going well on his side, and Danielle says that she'll be here for all the races.
That's good, that's good.
That's what
the more the merrier.
More, honestly, the more the merrier. And obviously we do have some of the CRL boys. CRL Freefall will be a full-time driver. He is missing the first couple of races. But he will be on board. He is Atom's full-time teammate. So it's the Scottish lads in the Alpine that will be rocking us throughout our season. But we expect some great things coming soon. Scott is a very, very good driver. I'm expecting big things from him. However, he's not having such a good time in CRL Tier 3 at the minute. But still early days over there.
Right, yeah, then, it's still early in the season, mate. Anything can happen.
Anything really can happen. We're going to jump on board with your buddy, which is CJ Keane 8 in the other of those marks. Hopefully they can have a bit of a better time as teammates than what our current Mercedes boys on the grid are doing at the moment.
Yeah, so Kino's just coming up to Maggots Beck. He's got a bit of traffic, slight bit of traffic in front of him. Try and get my words out. But hopefully doesn't affect him too much. He might get a slight tow, or he's just pulled over to the side. So
nah, it's fair sportsmanship there. I believe that is either Bracey or Atom. I believe it's Bracey which is pulled over to the side because he's on an outlap at the moment.
Oh, he's just gone a bit wide there. Maybe track limits are involved there.
He's still going. Are we going to see an improvement? It's on for a 122. What's he going to be on for? Can he beat that 127? I believe he's going to.
27.9. P9.
Slower.
Still got enough time anyway. Still got enough time to charge up that pack and then get round again for another lap.
Well, we're going to jump on board with Atom and give him some love. He goes P14. Like I said, Atom is about. He's a bit of behind the scenes knowledge. I'm not going to say what it is because that's private and confidential, but Atom is in recovery mode at the moment. To see him on the grid and giving it his all, that's fantastic. Love to see boys still come and give it their all, even if they're not 100%. And that's what we're here for, to be fair, this league. We're here to go, you know what, we don't care what your skill set is. We don't care if you use wheel. We don't care if you use assists. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, bit of fun. Bit of competitive fun, shall we say. And wow, what a lap, Dean.
Yeah,
26th
Dean,
lap.
Wow. What a belter. Could Dean be one to keep an eye out on? What a belter of a lap. Wild Pidov is now in the chat, people. If you want to go and give it a catch, make sure you've obviously got your starter Pokemon and go and catch. Right then, let's go and find someone to show some love to. Salvatore in the Ferrari. Obviously, there's a couple of people that couldn't make it today, unfortunately, that had said they were going to be here, but obviously probably prior commitments and couldn't get in. But Salvatore. It sounds nice. It sounds Italian as well. He's not Italian, but it sounds it. It's a good Ferrari driver name, that Salvatore. Tell you what, though, he's on for a blinder of a lap here. I don't know if you're on board with him.
Let's have a look, mate.
Can he do it? And the answer is no. That's so unlucky. He does improve though, but not enough to catch his rival, which is Dan in front of him. Right, so the checkered flag is being waved. So for those that are crossing the line now, that will be it. I believe the first one coming across the line is going to be. Oh, they're all coming across the line. They're too fast to keep up with. It's happening again, people. Go on board with Topher. No improvement from him.
Over the line.
McLaren. Look, they're all coming over one by one. Slow down, boys. Let me keep up with you all. Tell you what, Severe Scott improves. He goes P12. Who's going to be the next? I think that's going to be an Alfa Romeo. I think that's Wee Rabbi. Or Owen.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Mark Wilson now, just coming through Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, no problem. I am on board with Owen. He has invalidated, so he will not be improving. Going to jump on board with K-Tap. I do want to say, anyone that does watch this back, if I butcher your name at any point, I do apologise. AFL will confirm I just butcher people's names when I'm commenting.
Oh, Mark Wilson's just had a spin at Stowe, sorry.
Kratas doesn't improve, he's P15 for him. Okay, I believe it's a Ferrari which is going to be crossing the line, which is going to be Shades. Can Shades improve? He's looking good, he is improving through Sector 2. He's coming around Stowe and into the final corner. What's it going to be? It's P8 for him. Who's it going to be next? The Ferrari's coming in to retire, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the very first grid. Oh, SRL. Not bad.
You can catch your breath now, mate.
Thank you. It's greatly appreciated. But no, I feel as if we did quite well there. I feel as if the boys on track actually did really, really well as well. They went into the unknown knowing it being crossplay. Obviously, we all know the horrors of crossplay. Now, anyone watching, do not ready up until I put in the Discord. I will be putting that in there now. Anyone who readies up to begin with, you are a dick. We have enough issues with that. Enough. I'm not going to say any more of that. Right then, so just to go through, so Dean Pryor will take pole. It will be Bracey, which will be in second, and then you've got Dan in third. Salvatore in the Ferrari takes fourth. Mark Wilson will take fifth. Glowstick in sixth. Baby Driver in seventh. Shades in eighth. Keane in ninth, and Owen in 10th will be the first of your rows. Then moving on to the back half of the grid, it's Severe Scott, Jack, Adam, Atom, Krytas, Topher, and Wee Rabby bringing up the rear. Your thoughts, AFL, as we head into the main race?
I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, there's what a lap from Dean and Bracey as well. But then there's a bit of a gap to the rest of the guys. So, would it be possibly 2 races that we're going to be keeping an eye on, or is it more the fact that it's just going to be a race where everybody's just going to be involved, trying to keep clean? So we'll see anyway. We'll see. Looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it. To be fair, what's it called? A lot of people here, like I said, it's a mixture of skill levels, and it's going to be a very, very good race. Now, by the looks of it, some people have noticed the message I've put into the Discord, which is fantastic. I love to see sportsmanship at its finest. So, boys, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to get them strategies divided. What would be your strat, AFL?
Depending on where I'm starting, to be fair, if I'm starting more towards the back, then maybe start on the hards and just see how far I can go into the race. Obviously, safety cars and stuff like that, virtual safety cars may come to help. I think if I'm starting further up, then I'm probably going for a start on the mediums and just medium to hards, I'd say. Try and avoid those softs because they don't last a lot around here through experience. But then again, they're the drivers tonight, we're the commentators, so they're obviously free to choose whatever strategy they want. I mean, if they want to start in the intermediates for fun, then
I didn't know. Like that. Who's caused the safety car on lap 1? Who was that?
Me, mate.
It's Owen, and he's left the server as well.
What's going on here? It's not really got off to a...
So Owen, CFC 18, has actually left the server. He's left the Discord server. I think he's left mid-race.
We need to be careful here because I'm seeing that Dean has overtaken the safety car and some of the other guys haven't. And the safety car is in the middle of the track, so... Yeah, I need to have a look into what's happened here.
This is interesting. This is why we're doing pre-season. I think the safety car is allowing the pass. because the safety car stopped on the second straight. So we're going to go with it. We're going to roll with it. See what's happened. Adams picked up a 5-second penalty. Severe collision with Kratos. There's always one person in there.
So yeah, only one person has started on the soft tyres. Everybody else is either hards or mediums.
Now the question is, do we restart the lobby and do a manual grid?
Have you got the screenshot?
Yeah, I've got the screenshot. Yeah.
I would say let's see what happens with the safety car. If the safety car brings the pack back together, then we'll just roll with it for now.
Yeah, but it's the fact that someone's got a 5-second penalty that's ruined Adam's race straight away.
Yeah.
We'll roll with it and see what happens, actually. We'll roll with it and see what happens, because Adam could still bring it back with the safety car. So the safety car has now picked everybody up. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that because Owen is still in the race, and he is first, that's the only thing I'm worried about. So we'll ignore Owen. So it's P2 is actually P1.
Yeah. Need to find out why he just decided to leave
the server. Well, he's left the server completely.
Very weird. But anyway, let's not focus on the negativity of that.
No.
Let's
show must
focus
go
on the drivers that are here, the 16 that are still in the race. So yeah, let's focus on them and hope they put on a good show for us.
Oh, they will do. We know they will.
We're just waiting for Adam in the Haas to catch up with everybody. So I would say he's probably going to go around another lap. Yeah.
I would do a restart in case this causes further glitches throughout the race.
And I'd probably say we'd get racing.
Topher's said that I'll do a restart. Topher, if you are watching, we are debating it at the moment. Just keep an eye.
And obviously it's a Saturday night as well. We don't want to keep the guys here too long. Obviously, some maybe going out, some might want to spend time with their friends, their family. So we've obviously got to be mindful of that as well.
I've just said to the guys in the server, we'll play it by ear. For those that are watching, play it by ear. We will continue, keep going for now. So just ignore Owen. As far as we're concerned, he's not here. So currently, Dean Pryor is currently P1. Right, so severe score. Oh, severe collision with Baby Driver. I don't know what's happened there. But we're going to jump on board with Dean Pryor. We're going to decide by lap 5.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully safety car will be in this lap.
It should be. Anyway, let's just focus, like you said, let's just focus on the positives. The safety car, it depends on the circumstances, Danielle. Because obviously we've got technically a glitch car, we're just playing this by ear. If this safety car is still out by lap 5, we will be red flagging it and we will be restarting the session. We have got the starting grid under control. Safety car is in this lap. We are going to see if that causes any further issues later on down the line. We're always going to decide that the first 5 laps of the race is where we're going to give it that leeway, where we decide there will be a red flag in the session or not. Just to keep it fair. But yeah, as far as we're concerned now, there are only 16 drivers on the grid, and it is Dean Pryor down.
To offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chat.
Gotta love it when bots come into the account. Oh, Bracey, what's gone on? I think he's spun because it is the safety car. What's gone on? He's coming to pit. That's what he's coming to do. Right, we are back rolling. We are now under control. Oh, I tell you what, Dan though retakes possession of the lead as we go into what is now effectively a rolling start for the British Grand Prix. Oh, Alvastor though goes with the cheeky overtake and he gets it. Dan gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, I should say. We'll go from there. I believe Alpha Tauri's in the pit. Yeah, Alfa Romeo's in the pit, so with Bracey. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they've had a bit of a bump, but they are still continuing this race. But it is a Ferrari that currently leads this Grand Prix. Then it's Dean Pryor, and then it is Mark Wilson. Anything to report on with what you're looking at, AFL? Or?
I'm seeing a bit of a battle between the Alpine.
We've got a VSC, but that is because we've got a crash on track. Severe Scott is out of this race.
Yeah. Not really sure what happened there. He was battling with the Mercedes, and I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but I didn't see what had happened.
I didn't see what happened. I'll see if I can get Severe Scott's what's happened in the Discord. Well, 1 retirement, that technically 2. So we're going to jump on board with Salvatore, who's obviously leading the VSC, but it's still very quite bunched and compact at the moment. Severe Scott is replying to me at the minute, so hopefully we can get a bit of an insight on what's actually gone on. Right, according to Severe Scott, he got pushed wide and taken out. That's something we'll have to look at. And Adam Lejeski picks up a 5-second penalty as well for a collision with Kratas. Make some notes here, I think, because something's going on. We will get the race director at the very end as well. I think we may have to call a red flag here, mate. Do you agree?
Sure. Don't know. It's back now. Obviously, your call, mate. It's up to you. You decide.
I think that safety car has ruined things.
Yeah. The grid is really spread as well. But again, this is part of pre-season.
Yep. Can you put a message into the PlayStation invites, please?
Yeah.
We will be red flagging it. So the session is being abandoned. For anyone that is watching, red flag. We are abandoning this session. We are going to be going for a restart. Red flag, people, please, red flag.
Yeah, I'll just put that in there now, mate.
Thank you very much. So for anyone that is racing, please red flag the session.
Someone caught it. Gutted.
Well, it is going to be a new session, so don't be too gutted. Just await the invite. Everybody will be invited back, and we will get the British Grand Prix underway. So for anyone that is watching, I do apologise for the technical difficulties, but we knew that this was going to be a long one. But we will, I promise you, we will bring you a British Grand Prix. So for those that are tuning in, I do apologise. We have had to red flag the current session. Yeah, I do apologise for those that are watching. We are just having a few technical difficulties. We have had to restart the British Grand Prix. This is due to the fact for someone leaving the lobby mid-session.
Wouldn't be EA without dramas.
No, you're alright, Topher. It wouldn't be without drama. So, for those that are watching that are part of the race, please, obviously, join. Please select the same cars. Right, AFL, I'm going to be sending you a picture via Discord. And it's for the grid. Would you mind reading it out to me when I'm selecting the grid on who's got to go where? Oh, I don't need to, because I can just load it up, can't I? Are you in the lobby, AFL?
Got to say great racing from the guys that stayed in.
Yeah, for those that are watching, I do apologise for the technical difficulties. Are you there, AFL? AFL, are you there?
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
I just need you to join lobby, mate.
Yeah, just joining back now, mate. Just joining.
Now, because the weather was sunny, I am going to honour the request of what it was. I will keep it at sunny. Right, so we are just waiting on Mark Wilson, and then we will be restarting for those that are watching the stream. Obviously, I do apologise for the technical difficulties that we have had. For those that are wondering why we have done a restart, that is due to someone leaving the lobby on lights out. Do not ready up until I've put in the chat. Those that have readied up, please unready up. Oh dear. Right, so qualifying has now been, the grid is now set for how it was minus Owen, so we now have got 16 drivers on the grid. Hopefully we can have a better restart and get going with some actual racing. To the 9 people that are watching, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the follow button on my Twitch channel. This is where the races will be live from now onwards, and at a later time they will be then downloaded and they will then be resumed and put onto YouTube at a later time. Right, we have now got confirmation that Mark Wilson is now back, so that is your confirmation to ready up for those that are watching the stream, because the queue is going live now.
Technical difficulties.
Well, we knew there was going to be teething issues. I think all leagues start off with teething issues. You've got to get through the riff-raff before you can get going, let's face it.
Yeah, that is true. Obviously, thank you to the viewers for sticking along. Shout out to
Danielle,
Keith,
Topher.
if he's in the chat. Keith, shout out Keith. And then shout out to all the people that are watching tonight. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it is greatly
Hope
appreciated.
we're doing a good job.
For what is the very first race of the SRL, which is pre-season for... It will be next week. We'll be heading over to the Middle East and we will be going to Saudi Arabia. What a track to kick off the season with. But pre-season, just while we work out all the little kinks, which I think we've worked out the majority of them with this race so far. It's just obviously the odd little things. So, obviously, same as last time, do not ready up until I say. Please don't ready up. I have posted a message in the Discord saying please let people decide strategy. Obviously, it's only fair. Please don't be that guy that wants to get racing when other people are going, you know what, I just want to take 2 seconds and think about what I'm doing. But we are now down to 16 people. Now, from that restart that we really did have, the racing was good. There was a few collisions, and it is the reason why we did 5, because people got 5 seconds as like a domino effect. Would you agree, AFL?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that tend to happen with the game. Sort of wrong place, wrong time. So hopefully that doesn't happen now in this one, and we can get the race started, get a good race done, and everyone can enjoy their Saturday evening.
Yeah, exactly. And as Topher has said in the chat, remember people, if you were to play with a setup, please make sure your setup is on. That's why I'm giving people time to do it, because some people haven't got it saved. Let them redecide their setups, because obviously they went in with a setup during qualifying. They may not have it on at the moment. So let people get that. I am going to give people another 3 minutes. 3 minutes to decide your setup, and this race will get going at 10 to 9 for what will be the pre-season of SRL at Silverstone. Okay, someone's ready up. Ignore what I just said. People, come on! It's 5 red lights and away we go, and it's a good start. We've got nobody leaving the session, and that's what we want to see. It's a good start for Dean Pryor in that Williams, who's already got a 3 second, not a 3 second, a 0.3 second lead, but Bracey is keeping him company as we go around now into turn 2, and it's a great start for the Williams. But here comes the Red Bull of Dan94, and what a great, oh, there's some contact between him and the Alpine, but I tell you what, Dean Pryor managed to get out of that grid straight away, and he is now nearly 1 second in front already. What a great start from the Williams, and I tell you what, his teammate, well, he is a reserve, I believe, Dean Pryor. Well, there could be some full-time seats coming up, people, so for the reserves that are racing today, keep an eye on the Discord. You never know, you may get your call-up papers. But a very, very clean start as we now go into the race.
Yeah, clean start. As well, as clean starts go, that wasn't too bad.
No, that was really
and obviously
good.
now it's just settling in now. See who can maybe get out of the DRS window before obviously DRS is activated, and who can stay in there and possibly get some overtakes done.
Well, the top 5 all retaining their starting positions. It was a good little battle we had at the very, very start. Well, I suppose they say that. Mark then corrects me. Thanks, Mark, and goes P4. Biggest loser in all that, unfortunately, Severe Scott. He has dropped 6 places from P10 all the way down to 16. But remember, it is a long way to the checkered flag. We have still got 25 laps of racing, people, before we decide our pre-season winner. But apart from that, apart from a couple of little love taps, I'd say that was a pretty good and successful restart.
Yeah, good start. Good start.
Well, let's take a look to see what people's tyres are going to be for the start of this Grand Prix, shall we? Right then, so a bit of a mix and match for the tyres, really. 50% of the grid have gone for hards, and then you've got 3 of the drivers going for softs, which is Dan in the Red Bull, Adam in the Haas, and Scott in the AlphaTauri. And then you've got some drivers with the likes of Glowstick, Shade, Salvatore, Bracey, and Dean going for mediums. Everybody else is on hard, so they are going to be going for the long run.
Yeah, just trying to, it's best to try and keep out of trouble and just see how long you can really run here. Obviously, it's a very tyre dependent track as well, so you want to make sure that you've got a lot of tyre life left at crucial moments in the race.
No, exactly.
You don't want to get caught short, especially around Silverstone.
Yeah, Silverstone, it's a very tricky track, but it is a very good and fun track to race around, to be fair. And I am really gutted. I'm really gutted I'm actually missing it in CRL this season. It wasn't on the calendar last season. It gets put on the calendar, and I have to be in Greece drinking margaritas.
I mean, there's plenty of other things you could be doing. At least you're doing something nice.
No, that's true. Well, Dan94 is trying to overtake Bracey for P2. The top 3 are very, very close to each other. There's a bit of a gap formed all the way down between him and P4. Mark Wilson, he's going to be playing the long game, being on those hard, so we could be expecting a 1-stop from him. Let's jump on board with... Tell you what, let's jump on board with your buddy Jack, because he's having a battle with my buddy Tom for P9.
Yeah.
Go on, Tom! Go on! Oh, no, careful, Tom! Oh, that's
Do you know what? Jack always gets his elbows out, and I love that about him when he races. So I have obviously putting bias aside. That was firm but fair move there.
Yeah, to be fair, he saw a gap and he went for it. And I tell you what, that was a good little battle between them. To me, that's NFA. racing incident. It's still a long way to go. No drivers appear to have damage. You know what? Bumps are going to happen, people.
Exactly. We've seen worse moves, mate.
Yeah, especially on the corner that we are coming up to as well.
Exactly. But we won't talk about that.
No. We won't refer to Max Verstappen coming into it. But sorry for any Max fans out there. Not sorry. Anyway, we will now continue with our league. 3-second time penalty, both for Mark Wilson and... we've got a retirement, and that is a safety car. I think we've had a bit of a bump between Mark Wilson and a Ferrari. It's Salvatore. His pre-season race has come to an end. There will be no red flag for the restart this time. Unfortunately, Salvatore, your pre-season race has come to an end. Now, the question is, at this point, what would you do? I'd say it's too early to be really considering.
It's too early to do anything here.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're Scott at the back, Severe Scott.
Maybe I think he's listening to you. I think he's listening to you because he has come in for a pit stop. What's he going to come in for? We're going to stick on board with him as we'll see as the restart, obviously, before it gets underway. Let's see what he's going for. It is a set of mediums.
Yeah.
So is he going to be going soft, medium, soft, maybe? Is he banking on another safety car?
Yeah, I can imagine that. He'll definitely be pitting again, but he'll try and take those mediums as long as he can. And then, maybe another set of mediums, maybe another set of softs, considering also we've obviously scrapped the qualifying tyres as well, so they're going to have more tyres to play with, which helps out on strategy.
Rabbi and Topher have had a bit of a collision. I think they've had a bump under safety car. Luckily, it is pre-season, so this is the time to get all your mistakes out the way of, boys.
Yeah.
See next week. It is when you think about it, because it was supposed to be. See, this was supposed to be round 1. That's why Saudi Arabia was set for round 2 to go. Look, you're having a nice track to start off the season with, and then we're going to kick it up a notch and go to Saudi. And now, unfortunately, it's going to be here we go, boys. Your first lot of points are in a very hard track. But I have inside knowledge that Baby Driver 69 quite likes Saudi Arabia. He did in F121 anyway. I don't know what his opinions of it were in F122. I don't know about them in F123. What's your thoughts on Saudi Arabia?
I love the track, to be honest. Especially now, obviously going over to wheel. It's just out of that first sector, and you just take all those corners, the left, the right, the left again. Getting that first sector right, it just sets you up for a really good rest of the lap. And it's proper high speed as well, so yeah, it's a really good track.
See, I've not been able to have much time to play on Saudi Arabia recently on this game, but last game I fell in love with it. I thought they made massive improvements in F122 on that track. The game itself was trash, I mean, we can all agree on that. However, it was a good improvement. I've got a message from Salvatore. He's absolutely gutted. He had no force feedback at the second start of the race and couldn't keep it in track. Not the start he wanted, but away we go. At least you're gracious in defeat, Salvatore. We are going to see you again next week as we go, obviously, into Saudi Arabia. So don't be too disheartened. This is the round to make mistakes. And obviously, you did have a good launch, to be fair. It was better than obviously last time, but your heart has got to go out to him. He was at the top 5. He was going to be looking to be pushing maybe for a podium at least, maybe a win if he could potentially have got it, but it's...
As you said, this is the time to obviously get the little scrapes and spins and crashes and that out of the way, because obviously the points are awarded for next week. So yeah, it's just one of those, get your mistakes out of the way, and then hopefully you can have a good season coming up. Yeah,
no, it's exactly that. For those that are watching, they're thinking, how do I get a piece of this action? How do I get involved? Well, if you go onto the F123 Facebook fan group, you'll notice that I've put a couple of posts up there for Spider Racing League. The Twitch and the Discord link is on that post. If you want to come and potentially be a reserve, jump on over to the server. We will be opening the reserves up again soon, because we are going to be having a bit of a shift up between now and start of season, so we are potentially going to need more reserves. So head on over. If you know anyone that wants to join as well, tell them to get in SRL. This is the league where we don't care what skill level you are, we don't care what console you're on, we're all here to do one thing, and that's play F1 as the game was intended, and not as bumper cars. We all want to play F1 like we watch it on the TV, so come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Massive shout out to everybody that is watching obviously for what is the very, very, very first stream of a brand new league, and hopefully the first of many. At least it's going to be 16 streams. We know that for guaranteed. Season 1 is fully confirmed, but obviously it's you, the viewers at home, it's you, the drivers on the track. You are going to be the ones that decide, do we go again for Season 2? Do we go again maybe with a second tier? Maybe, just maybe, do we go, you know what? Let's have an F1 league and let's have an F2 league. Because most leagues just have obviously a pure F1. Maybe, just maybe, we might have an F2 league.
Safety car is in and Dean is getting us back on the way.
Yeah, he's warming his tyres up quite nicely. Well, he will be in control of the restart, but he looks to have just gone, to be fair. He's left nothing to the imagination, and he is off. I tell you what, though, Bracey is keeping him close for comfort, but Dean is building a nice gap straight away. I think Bracey was caught snoozing a little bit. Dan is catching slowly on Bracey as they come into turn 3.
Just keep an eye on Glowstick. He's making a move on Keno.
Yeah, it's good little battle. The Mercedes boys, I'll tell you what, the Mercedes boys are keeping Glowstick company, let's face it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who is keeping the Mercedes for company. Tom is going for a dive on Jack as we go into this. Your lad's gone wide and Tom's trying to go in, and there's slight contact between Tom and Jack. That doesn't seem
to be a trend for the rest of the season.
Well, in our league, you're probably wondering, what are the points? Have you ever watched an F1 race? The points are the exact same. Top 10 will get points. Fastest lap gets an additional lap so long as you are within the top 10. We are keeping it exactly the same. We're trying to keep it as authentic as we can to the race. But like I said, everyone of all talents is welcome. Whether you're just starting out or you're going for eLeague Pro status, if you want to come and race, this is where you want to be. I'll tell you what, Tom goes for a lovely overtake, but there's contact, they both spun, but they both kept it. Now that would definitely be one for the stewards to look at. I don't know if either driver's got damage, they both. Oh, I think we've got a Lewis and Max rivalry coming on here between these two boys. Kratos trying to go wide, get the position, but he has conceded. That's fair play, it's good sportsmanship. Adam very nicely bringing up the rear in P11. Wee Rabby has come into pit. His 5-lap old Hard. Why has he come into pit? Has he got damage? Stay on board with him to find out why he's coming into pit. There is a bit of a battle going on. Tell you what, I'm sorry, Wee Rabby, but we are going to have to leave you. Severe Scott's having a bit of a battle. Tom has dropped P13. I wonder if he has actually picked up damage. That could be one to keep an eye on there, AFL. But we are on board with Severe Scott at the moment in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it's been quite a bit of action.
It's been really, really good, to be fair, considering that nobody knows what SRL is. Nobody knows who we are. We've got quite a few viewers, and I'm thankful to every single one of them. And we've got really, really good racing, apart from Severe Scott going quite wide there. To be fair, I can't mock him. I do the same thing in that corner. Oh, and look, AFL, it's the S's.
Your nemesis. And that's all I will say on the mail. I don't want you frothing at the mouth again talking about the S's.
Anyone who knows me knows I cannot stand S's on a track. It is the one thing I really struggle with. The Marshals have reinstated DRS. We've got a shout out for you from Kazil. Don't know who that is. Oh, but I'll tell you what, Tom's dropped positions again, I think. Or was that Topher? There's something going on there in the back. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, it appears to be a Haas. A lone little Haas in the back. Wee Rabby obviously trying to catch up, but I think he's about to get blue flag shortly. It's such a shame for Wee Rabby because I've raced against him a couple of times. Always a good battle against Wee Rabby.
Shout out for Brayson Pryor.
I've got a shout out for Brayson Pryor from Lukey Boy. Right, let's jump on board with Mr. Mark Wilson. His partner has come all the way from, I'm assuming, upstairs, Danielle, is that correct? While Mark Wilson's sitting downstairs in his front room playing an F1 game. Well, let's go give your husband a bit of love. A current CRL, technically Tier 4 champion, currently racing in Tier 5. How'd you work that one out?
That's right, haha.
Oh, that's right, you're upstairs, he's downstairs. But you come and showing some love, and that's more than what my Jess does. She doesn't come and watch my races. Big shout out to my Jess. To be fair though, no, she does a lot behind the scenes, and my Jess has agreed to be one of the stewards for this league. You won't ever catch her commentating. You won't ever catch her doing any stewarding. Well, you do catch her doing stewarding. What I mean is, you won't catch her doing any commentating. You won't ever catch her talking on stream. She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes when little one's asleep. She tries to keep him back under control because he does have autism. So if you ever hear him screaming in the background, which you probably will at some point during this, just rest assured he is okay. He does suffer with autism. So I just want to make that crystal clear before we go any further. But it is hard. But we live and learn. There seems to be a bit of a battle though going on between your mate Jack and James Shades as they battle for P8.
Yeah, I think there was a battle between obviously Atom and Jack, and Atom seemed to have got in front, but it's still looking quite juicy between all that little bit of contact there.
Yeah, that was
bit contentious there.
Yeah, that would be one maybe if the steward's office was open this week to investigate. Unfortunately, the steward's office is closed this week, boys. You will not be able to, you can submit your footage if you want, but no one's there. No one's going to look at it. I mean, I might look at it when I'm bored, but we're not going to do any judging on it. Unless
nobody is home.
No, the lights are on, but no one's home in the steward's office this week. The steward's office will officially open from next week's race, which is in Saudi Arabia. And it does mean that if you do have any incidents, if you report them in, you have 18 hours from the race is finished to get them in. There's 18 hours after the race. We'll then arrange a stewards meeting, and then we will obviously go through it, and that can decide, obviously, people going up, people going down in position. All depends on how bad it is. Penalty points can also be bad.
Just keeping an eye on, obviously, Kino, another one of my good mates in P5 at the moment, doing a really good job in the Mercedes.
Your Jack, what's it called, your other mate in the other Mercedes is actually doing quite well. He's having a bit of a battle with Atomic, I believe. Is struggling a little bit. He's conceding positions. He's still in the point. Severe Scott picks up a 3 seconds time penalty. Where is he currently to? He's currently in P10. And we have a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 3. What's happened? It's a Haas has spun. Not a Haas, it's an AlphaTauri, I believe. I believe that is for Severe Scott. Doesn't appear to be any damage. Hopefully he can get back on track and keep going. CJ Keane, your mate, picks up a 3 seconds time penalty, multiple warnings. This is going to be the point. We're 10 laps in, round Silverstone. It is a hard track to get to grips with, especially when that track warms up, especially when them tyres warm up. But we are going to stay on board with CJ Keane for now because Glowstick is keeping him company as the battle for P5 is on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, go on.
There's a few gaps, obviously, between, like, say, the top 3 and the top 4, but there's battling across the whole grid, which is what we like to see.
Yeah, and as you've proven in CRL, I mean, you've not had a podium this season so far, but you're currently top of Tier 5, and that's because of consistency. So getting wins one week may be great, but all it takes is for one bad race, and that's all it's going to take.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how I've got to the top of the standings in CRL. That is not going to last.
Well, but enjoy it while you can, mate.
Yeah.
Glow stick. Yeah, we're here for these boys. This is the start of a brand new chapter and a brand new F1 eLeague, and hopefully, like I said earlier on, hopefully it's going to be a very, very long book.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was delayed. We were supposed to start when the game came out, but due to a lot of technical issues, we delayed it as long as we could, so bugs could be worked out. Obviously, there's still a few bugs that are in the game, which is red flags and formation lap. They will remain off until further notice. But the league can get underway because crossplay does seem to be stable enough at the moment, because I can't see any major issues. We've not had no reports on the Discord of major issues. No one has commented on the Discord, on the Twitch stream, to say there is major issues. I think that this league can definitely get the go-ahead for Cross League. Anyway, we're jumping on board with Topher because Topher is currently trying to keep Baby Driver at bay. Topher does have penalties against his name. Baby Driver doesn't. So technically, as it stands, Baby Driver is provisional P10. Seems to be a bit of a battle though going on for P1. We're going to jump on board with Dan and Dean Pryor.
Oh, and
Dan's coming
Dan's pitting now, yeah. those soft tyres
Yeah.
at the end of their life now.
Well, it's probably.
But
What would
I
you go
imagine
for?
getting medium, so definitely
Fast clocks
you get on a
escape.
set of mediums now and take those to
No
the
one
end,
caught it.
I would say.
It is a set of yellow walls that he is coming in for
set
as
of
well, so that's a
mediums,
good strat. So let's take a look, see who's pitted not. Obviously, as people do know, you do have, on a dry race, it is mandatory to pit once. Half the grid has pitted, half the grid is still yet to come in. So as it stands, I believe Shades is technically looking at provisional P1 because he has stopped. All depends if he can get to the end. He is on hards, so he could see it. It could potentially be on.
This part of the race for Dan is going to be quite important. The undercut is very powerful around here, so if he can get his head down and obviously get some tidy laps in, once the rest of the guys up the top pit, he should be back in contention for the race win.
Well, we are going to be opening up driver of the day in the Tier 1 channel. So after the race, for the boys and obviously us, for anyone that wants to vote for driver of the day, you will have 24 hours to vote. It's not going to mean anything, it's just to show you appreciation of people that were on track.
The time penalties are racking up as well.
Yeah,
at the
it's
moment.
at that point now, let's face it, this is where...
Racy and Dean Pryor are still going at it in the battle for the lead.
There we go. So, Driver of the Day channel is now open. Right, sorry about that. I got distracted while making that channel. Still a good little battle going on, though. So we showed Jay Shades some love. We're now going to jump on board with the battle for the lead. It's the battle between the Williams and the Alpine. Williams, back in the day, for a little bit of history for people, were back in the 90s, if I remember correctly, if my history is correct, AFL. Williams was a dominant force with Nigel Mansell.
Yeah, Nigel Mansell, obviously Nelson Piquet, Senna as well, Damon Hill, obviously 1996 world champion. So yeah, Williams have definitely been successful in F1, and also through the early noughties as well, to be fair, with that BMW engine, fastest engine produced in the V10 era.
I'd love to see BMW return to the grid properly as a BMW team. I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah. I believe there's rumours of them possibly coming back in the future, obviously with these new engine regulations. So who knows?
F1 needs more teams on the grid. I don't get me wrong, I love 10 teams on the grid, but I do feel as if 12. I think there should be 12 teams on the grid, 24 cars racing. I think that's what it should be.
I mean, I tend to disagree. I think you should have the best of the best teams, and whether it's going to be 10 or 11. We don't want teams languishing at the back as well. We want 10 or 12 good teams that can obviously interchange, and as many engine suppliers as we can as well.
Yeah,
that'd be something to look forward to.
Glowstick is coming in for a set of hards, so he's got a medium to hard to see him out. Hopefully that may be a good pit. I'm hoping it is. So it's coming in. So let's
him coming out on the hards as well, cold hards. It's got to warm them up pretty much instantly around here.
Well, the penalties are racking in short, so the people that are currently on track without penalties, they're going to be sitting there rubbing their hands at the moment. Let's see who's got what. So Mark Wilson has 6 seconds, CJ Keane has 3, Jack has 3, Adam has 3, Topher has 5, which he can serve in the pits, I'm assuming, if he does decide to come in. Scott has 6, Baby Driver has 3, Wee Rabby has 3, and Adam has 6.
Yeah, and obviously the less penalties you have,
the better.
Obviously the better, because you never know if you're behind somebody with a couple of seconds of penalties. There's a safety car, you can go up quite a bit, so we obviously encourage the guys to keep away from the penalties. Obviously it's very hard to, because there can be times where penalties are just inevitable.
Yeah, well, this battle for P1
so
is
far, so
heating up
good.
between Bracey and Dean. They are on board with Bracey at the moment to see if he can get the overtake. He's going on the inside. He sees his opportunity, and he's now, for a split second, he was in charge of the Grand Prix. He's trying to get the position back. Can he do it? I think there's slight contact between him and Dean. I don't think there's anything major, but Dean, by a whisker, holds on to... Oh, hang on. Bracey's proven me wrong, and he's managed to get DRS on him, and Bracey now has control of this Grand Prix. He now leads, and Dean, by the looks of it, is trying to keep up.
Yeah, this is the battle for the lead as well, but this battle in here is helping the guys behind, especially Dan, as he makes a move past Jay. So this is helping him in this battle. It's just bringing him into the race even more. So these guys have got to be careful that too much battle in here may affect them.
At the moment, Mark Wilson currently P3, but does have 6 seconds of time penalty as it stands. I believe, as it stands, that would drop him down to P6. So, still 11 laps left of this race.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of battle for the lead, Bracey now drops back down to P2 as Dean Pryor takes lead of the Grand Prix, and he's coming into pit, and Bracey following these boys, but they both pick up a 5-second time penalty. Mark Wilson's now going to be sat there going, you know what, the comeback's on.
Yeah, Mark Wilson is pitting now as well.
And
you make sure he comes in carefully as well.
Doesn't want to pick
it's
up any
such
more
a
time
difficult
penalties.
pit lane entry as well, because you're
really
coming in
is.
from such high speed. It's a bit like Monza's one as well.
Bracey goes for new softs. Dean goes for new softs. What's Mark Wilson going for? Surely it's got to be a set of softs. He's gone for a set of mediums.
And just to say, we have a new race leader in Kino.
Yeah, he's taking control, and Dan is keeping him company.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how this battle for P1, because those soft boys are not going to be far, but they do have penalties against their name now. Odds of them coming in now to serve those 5 seconds is going to be next to none, I reckon, unless we get a late game safety car. For those that are only just tuning in, we only have one retirement from this session. However, this is session 2, due to the fact we had a red flag. And not a red flag in game, because that is glitched. I mean a admin red flag. What do I mean by that? That's where the admins within the first 5 laps of the race can go, nope, something has happened, it's caused a domino effect. For the fairness of the game, let's just restart the lobby. That does mean, however, as of next week, if that does happen again next week, anything that does happen, if they say this happens again, and there is an incident that does happen in those first 5 laps, they can still be reported to the stewards. Just because we restart a lobby does not mean you are safe. If you do something wrong, it can be looked into and it will be investigated. That would happen in actual F1. If a red flag happens, they keep an eye on it, so it's...
We won't talk about officiating in the real F1. That's another contentious subject which we do not want to get into.
That's a week in the future, yeah? At the moment, these boys know they are not going to get anything against them unless they decide to deliberately plough someone into a wall. That's pretty much what I've literally said on the Discord all day. If you plough someone into a wall, you're going to get penalised. It's going to take a lot for me to do anything during pre-season. I think all the stewards that are watching can agree on that. We will be opening up this week. We will be hiring more stewards. Currently, as it stands, I believe there is me, there is Jess, there is Tom. He has decided to become a steward, and Mark Wilson has decided to become a steward. AFL, I can't remember. Did you say yes or no to being a steward?
I said no.
I couldn't remember. Diesel, what happened to Alstator? Unfortunately, he found a war. He went into it. I don't think I really need to describe what happened next. Bracey picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's currently P5, and he was one of the ones that was battling for the lead a minute ago, if I remember correctly, so I think...
Yeah, there's going to be a lead change now. Dan is taking the lead. Kino is on 16-lap old hard tyres, and I believe he will be coming in soon.
He's going to have to come in shortly. He's coming in now, to be precise. He heard you. Can he slow down in time? Yeah, that
perfect.
looks nice.
Absolutely fine. Good entry.
That's got to be softs that's going to be coming on, so we're going to stick on board with him and see what 100%. He does go with. It's got to be softs. Got to be. Who's currently got fastest lap of the race, by the way? Oh, there it is,
well.
Dean Bryant.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
couldn't have timed that any better.
There you go.
Dean heard me and he
Save me
went,
having
I'm
to
going
live
to
through it.
deliver. Dean set at 1 minute 29, taking the fastest lap of the race. Thanks for that, Dean. That's going to be moment of the week for definite.
Seems like Mighty Atom has left the session. Maybe Desync, maybe.
Maybe, possibly, we'll get a word from him because technically that would class as he's still racing. I don't know what's happened. Hopefully he can get back in. Obviously, we'll keep on board with that and find out what's going on. But at the moment, as it stands, yeah, he has left the session. Right then, so let's go and see if we can find a battle somewhere. I think the two Mercedes boys are going to be having a bit of a battle. There's not much between them. The question is Jack going to try and take position, or is Keen going to try and give him any support, or what do you think they're going to be doing? Because I'm assuming they're both in the same party together.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, Keen is on brand new soft tyres, but he has to get them up to temp. Jack is on mediums, which he's had for 3 laps now, which are up to temp, so should be able to be quicker than him at this stage. But once Keenan gets those soft tyres fired up,
well, because
you never know.
Yeah, just to put it in a note here, because Atom has left the session, unless he can get back in, he will classify as a DNF because his AI is currently out on the track. Now, if he left with about 4 laps to go, we'd probably go, yeah, you know what, he's done most of the race, we'll honour it.
Yeah.
But because it's about 7 laps to go, unfortunately, I can't justify an AI doing 7 laps. I can't. So I'm really sorry, Adam, but your car will be classed as DNF unless you can get back in sharpish. James Shades has decided to come in for a set of softs in that Ferrari. Hopefully, I think we're going to see. There's only 2 drivers on track, I think, as it stands, that don't have any penalties. Jack's picking up another 3-second penalties as I say that. Commentator's curse has struck. Now I'm just waiting to see if Shades has any penalties. This is the question. So there is currently 3 drivers on track that have no penalties on their name.
Now, if there's a late game safety car,
we're looking
and you don't have any penalties, then you know what, you're laughing.
There is a bit of a gap between Pryor and Dan. Dan picks up a 3-second time penalty, so now it's Shades. Oh, commentator's curse is striking well and truly here. But tell you what, though, it's been a really, really good race to watch.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Good battles across.
I think we are now getting a bit of gaps from everywhere, so we are going to jump on board with Baby Driver because Atomic AI is trying to catch him up. I don't think
Mark
Atomic
Wilson is going to get Topher here down the hanger straight, to be fair, and he
is.
does.
Let's jump on board. Well,
Yeah,
Topher is trying to defend his position. It doesn't work out, unfortunately, and Mark Wilson takes P5 for his troubles.
Yeah.
Penalties is going to switch this grid up nice and possible.
Yeah. He just had that overspeed there with the DRS and the ERS usage there. Pretty easy overtake. See if he can now stretch his legs and see what he can do.
Yeah, it was unlucky there on Topher. I think those mediums are screaming out. Now the question is, do you think he should come in for a set of softs and potentially try and claw his way up? I mean, it could be a shout, could be a strat, especially if a late game safety car does happen.
I mean, he's going to lose a lot of time. Is he going to make that back up? Probably not, to be honest.
No, we don't know. Severe Scott is trying to hunt down Atom's AI at the minute.
As I always say, track position is always key.
Yeah. Let's take a look at these penalties, shall we? Because Shades is going to be sat there rubbing his hands at the moment.
Winners revealed in 90s.
So yeah, Bracey's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. Adam's got 9. Atom's got 8, but Atom's not actually here no more, so he'll be classed as a DNF. Shades, potentially, he's going to be up there, but where he's going to finish at the moment, I couldn't actually tell you. We'll come back to that in a little bit. We've still got about 5 laps of racing left to go as Dan crosses the line to make us into those final 5 laps. Anything could still happen yet. I think everyone's spaced out quite nicely now. Mark Wilson picking up a 3-second time penalty again for his troubles. Let's have a look with the Mercedes, shall we?
Topher is pitting.
Topher is pitting. He was listening to us then.
Really slow to the pit lane though.
He's still got plenty of ERS though saved up. He's still got 75% left in his tank. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And if he has got any 5-second time penalties that need serving, he can potentially serve him here. Could bring him back in. It's going to be a good battle between him and Shades, for definite. And he is serving a penalty.
Maybe a cheeky little fastest lap attempt, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. If he was finishing in the top 10, it would mean that he'd get an extra point if we were awarding points this week. Remember, to the drivers that are watching, if you go into the community announcements of the Discord, you will find the link to the Formula Companion app along with the pin. Every single driver that is a reserve and is a regular full-time driver has a profile on there. You can keep up to date with everything. You don't have to join it if you don't want to. It's just going to be your way of keeping you up to date with absolutely everything, from penalties to points to wins, you name it. The constructors, if the reserves are doing better than you, everything is on there that you could possibly want to know. And it's available on Android and iOS as well, so if you don't want to do it on your computer, you can always have it in your pocket, which is very, very handy. It is a very, very good app to actually have, to be fair. I do recommend checking it out. So that's enough of the advertisement, as we have a yellow flag in sector 1. What has gone on? It is a Haas. It's Adam. He's gone all the way into the gravel. What's he going to do? Oh, he's stopped. I think he's beached. No, he's getting free.
He's not. I think he's just trying to let the leaders through. Yeah, but he doesn't want to get disqualified as well.
That is respectable there from Adam. And that is what we want to see. And Adam has managed to rejoin the session. Can he take control of his car? That's the only thing. Now, how many laps was he gone for? We will have to relook it.
I'm going to say maybe 3 laps, if that, maybe 4.
Well, we will relook at it, and if he's back and he is driving...
But I mean, it's only pre-season as well.
If this was main season, obviously, then that's when... Well, he's still ghosted at the moment, so I'm going to assume that he hasn't taken control of his car. Let's jump on board with Severe Scott, who is hunting down Tom, a.k.a. Baby Driver. He has got DRS on Tom, but can he get the overtake? That's the question. 4 laps left to go of this Grand Prix. A couple of yellow flags. We've had 1 safety car, I think, on this reset, if I remember correctly. One safety car. Yeah. It's not been too bad. We've had battles all around, and like I said, everyone is of different talents in this league. This is the founders of the SRL. They've got what they technically call a founder status. I might actually make a roll and put founder in there. Not going to mean anything, but it just means that you were here before anybody else was. And this is good practice for us, for CRL as well, mate, when we're doing our comms at CRL.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, we've got a few of the CRL boys coming in. Excuse me, I just got to quickly nip and see my son. I can hear him banging on the window.
Oh, we've just had a little spin as well. Severe Scott and Baby Driver collecting each other there. Baby Driver Scott sort of got back into the race now. So hopefully he hasn't got any damage and can continue. But yeah, 3 laps to go. Dean is looking good in P2. Actually no, Dan, excuse me. But yeah, the penalties are racking up here, so these guys just need to keep it clean for the last couple of laps. Don't want to lose too many positions if they get any more penalties.
I'm back. Sorry about that, people. You wanted the channel changing. You got bored of watching the Not a Thomas the Tank Engine on instead. Who doesn't love a bit of Thomas the Tank Engine?
Takes me back.
Oh, it certainly does. And it is the old school Thomas the Tank Engine he loves as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, Topher is trying to catch up to Mighty Atom. I'm just going to quickly jump aboard with Atom. He's still ghosted, so I'm going to believe he hasn't managed to take control of his car. So unfortunately for Atom, he will be classified as a DNF. Sorry, Atom, if you are watching, mate, but it's, yeah, he's even put, apparently I never thought, but all the cars turn to AI, but won't let me take control of my car now. I'm really sorry, Atom, but there's nothing much I can really do on that, unfortunately. Jumped on board with your buddy CJ and see he hunts down a Haas who's been blue flagged to let him pass. Good sportsmanship there from Adam, who had that unfortunate spin a few laps back. Now, a question obviously is, what are we going to do pre-race interviews? Sorry, post-race interviews. TBA, because it's crossplay, and I know if I jump onto Discord and have it zapped over to PlayStation, the people on Discord don't actually come through, and there's no in-game voice chat at the moment, so I don't want to favour the PlayStation boys over the other boys.
Yeah, I think we just keep it fair and just don't do don't do interviews. Obviously, it's a bit of a shame, but
yeah,
if it was PlayStation, it'd be a lot easier. But as it is crossplay,
yeah,
it's just one of those things, isn't it?
Exactly. But we did have a bit of a yellow flag there. That's for the Haas. I'm assuming he's letting more drivers through. We only have, I'm assuming now, nearly one lap of racing left to go, and it is going to be quite comfortable at the moment for Dan, but penalties are lurking. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a shift here, I do believe. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of the top of the grid, but we are now going to jump on board with Dan, who's going to take us for the last lap of the race, unless anything else actually happens. I don't think there's going to be too much to really commentate on the last lap of this race, mate. So, your thoughts for driver of the day as we're now approaching 1.5 laps left to go?
I'm going to be, obviously, trying not to be biased as it's a Mercedes driver, but CJ Keane has done a really good job in P6, kept it clean. Obviously, he's got 3 seconds worth of penalties, but he's closing in on Mark Wilson now, and possibly a P5 finish for Keane, but also Dan as well in P1. He's done a good job, but I'm going to go for Keane in P6.
No, fair play. I'll tell you what, I've been quite impressed with Dean personally in P2. He had a good couple of battles at the very, very start, kept his position well. He's battled for P1 throughout the race. Obviously, he has picked up a 5-second time penalty, but despite that, it's been a relatively clean race for him. So on that, Dean's got my vote for driver of the day. Driver of the day will be open very, very shortly for our drivers. Obviously, just go in there and at the person for why you feel as if they're driver of the day. You can leave a little bit of a compliment in there for them and say, well, why you think they got it. It's just that little bit of thing to go, a bit of recognition. A little bit of recognition can boost someone's day, even if they felt they had a bad race. Just going, you know what, I was really impressed with you. It can make someone's race. I mean, I've had it a few times where obviously I've had a bit of a bad race, and even though I don't feel as if this one's gone, you know what, Rob, you did do a good job. You're my driver of the day. You might not be the driver of the day, but you did get it.
Yeah. A little recognition goes a long way.
It really does, because it can change. I mean, someone can go into the next race going, you know what, I'm really proud of what I did there. I got driver of the day, a little bit of recognition, I'm pumping for next race. But we are now only a few corners around. Dan is going to provisionally cross the line in P1. I don't think he's going to lose P1 personally because of the penalties that are behind him. So I do believe that Dan94 will be the very, very first winner of SRL, but it is only pre-season. Can he replicate it as he crosses the last corner and takes the checkered flag to win the British Grand Prix? No one can overtake him and take that position. Dean Pryor comes in second, Bracey comes in third, and that will be our podium sitters. We now wait to see where everybody else finishes from those mix of penalties. I'm going to be interested to see where Shade ends up in all of this. So we're jumping on board with Glowstick now, who's going to cross the line and take provisional P4. I believe no one can take it from him. P4 does for Glowstick. Mark Wilson will be the next to cross the line. He does have 9 seconds worth of penalties, though. I don't think P5 is going to be where he sat for too long. He's not. He drops to P6 as CJ Keane takes P5. Jack will be the next to cross the line. And he's having a bit of a tussle now with the Mercedes. He is going to drop the Ferrari. Takes P7. Jack drops to P8. Severe Scott, he's going to be the next to cross the line. He's had a bit of a good battle between him and Tom. Tom's just desperately tried catching up. I think the gap is big enough despite the penalties. Scott will come P9 and Tom is going to cross the line, I believe, as the last of our point runners and take P10. If he was getting points, he'd be getting a single point. But obviously there's no points awarded for this week in pre-season. Topher takes P11. Atom's AI, unfortunately, will get black flagged, so he will not be taking P12. It is such a shame. And obviously, hopefully, that doesn't continue for him. Hopefully, Early Way is up, as is the famous song. But Unfortunately, he does say he's crossed P11, P12. He will not be classed as P12. Kratos, who was obviously feeling a bit nervous, comes in at P12. Wee Rabby will cross the line in P14, and then the last to cross the line for today's race will be Adam, and that will be the SRL pre-season Season 1 race.
What race?
I feel as if that went really, really well. Shades getting in-game driver of the day for that performance, picking up no penalties, and of course, it is definitely got to go to him for the in-game. But I feel as if that went really, really well, AFL. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it went really well. Obviously, a Red Bull winning the race. Not too different from real life, but again, really, really good race from the top three, but also everybody tonight. Just want to say thank you to them putting in the shift tonight. Obviously, it's a Saturday evening, and we know everybody's got things to do.
Yeah.
So we appreciate them racing with us tonight, and hopefully they can join us back here next week.
Yeah, no, definitely. The boys that have given up their Saturday evening, obviously you could be doing a lot better things than sitting here racing virtual cars around in a game and listening to me and you, Rafa One. But the fact that you're putting on a bit of a show for us, I tell you what, that was really, really good. A mixture of talent from across all the board. But despite that, it's been quite good. So we're just going to rattle it off. It's going to be Dan that takes P1, Dean takes P2, Bracy P3, Glowstick P4, Keen P5, Mark Wilson P6, Shades P7, Jack P8, Severe Scott P9, and Bailey Driver in P10, finishing off the point runners. Topher will take P11, Kratos P12, Adam unfortunately will get black flagged, Rabbi will take P13, Adam will take P14, and obviously then we've got our DNF. But that is pretty much it. That is all we've got time for today. Obviously there is quite a few penalties there, and there is our pit stops, but I've got the ones that obviously matter. I just need to double confirm who actually got fastest lap. And that is Dean Pryor with a 1 minute 29.1. It's been a really, really good race, and it's been such good fun, obviously, having a crossplay league. I didn't think it was actually going to be possible, if I'm honest. I actually thought that it was going to be buggy and glitchy, and I thought it was going to be jumping around everywhere. But I tell you what, these boys put on a really, really good show for us tonight, and I'm really looking forward to next week, which will be the official start of the SRL, where we go to the Middle East for Saudi Arabia. Jeddah, your thoughts, AFL, your closing remarks for today's epic race?
Again, just thank you to the guys tonight. Really putting a good show, and obviously happy to get SRL started. First of many races, I hope. And yeah, long may it continue. And next week, obviously, Jeddah, one of my favourite tracks. And yeah, looking forward to commentating on these guys and seeing who takes the first win of the official SRL season.
Yeah, no, definitely. We do have a couple of break weeks lined up throughout the course of this season. One is I've got a birthday behind the scenes, so we've got no one that's going to be able to stream it. Obviously, I'm away in Greece, as mentioned earlier on in the stream, and then we have another reason why we've got a week break as well. So I believe this season will take us all the way up to the middle of December. So who is going to be our SRL Season 1 champion? Who is going to have that as an early Christmas present? Well, there's only one way to find out, as we have got 15 rounds. Yes, 15 rounds where these boys are going to take us every step of the way, where they battle to be the first ever SRL Crossplay League champion. I've been your host, CRL Spider 95. My good friend has been AFL 1994, and we're going to see you this time next week as we crown our first winner in Saudi Arabia. Good night from me, and I'm pretty sure it's a good night from AFL as well.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Winners revealed in 90s.